My name's Clive Painter. These days I'm the guitarist in the band, but I also do quite a few technical things as well.
Well, Clive's a great guitar player, but he's also good at engineering and stuff like that, isn't he?
He's got a disability, which for most people will be quite difficult, but if you're an engineer it's quite good because he's got 3 arms.
I've been dreaming of you all the night through, and the summer sunshine found me still sleeping and dreaming of you.
Clive Painter is the technical man of the band. He really sorts out all the recordings. Clive's very genial. Reminds me of the TV programme called How. The panel of experts always had the answer. Clive's a little bit like that. You can kind of ask him anything and he always seems to know the answer.
He's the electronics whiz kid. I mean, he is University Challenge with a beard. He knows everything, and he's a good laugh.
There's something of the British Air Force Spitfire pilot about Clive. He's a gentleman through and through. Likes to play fair, likes to see fair play made. It's the only way. And he's a wonderful guitarist too.
Testing, testing, testes, testing. Perfect.
My name is Jacques Van Rhijm. I'm the clarinetist with the Real Tuesday Weld. I do some backing vocals. I try to stop Stephen falling over on stage. The first time I met Stephen Coates, I was naked backstage at a cabaret.
I've got this friend, Sophie Seashell, who's the manager of the Tiger Lilies. She also performs herself as a cabaret artiste. And I got this phone call from her one day. She's French, I can't actually do her accent, but she said, "Stephen, will you be my Jesus?" And it turned out that she was doing a cabaret performance that evening where she was Mary Magdalene, and this was going to be the devil and Jesus, and she'd written this song, and it was all weird, twisted stuff, you know, as usual. So I said, no. And then, you know, I was wandering around later on and thinking, oh God, you know, it's one of those things, you think, God, you know, you've got to, you know, you can't say no to things, you know, blah, 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 you've got to do stuff, you know. So I rang her back and said, all right. So I went to this club in Islington, and she was there in the dressing room wearing nothing but 3 seashells. And there was a guy in there with her naked, right? And I was like, what the fuck's this? It's like,
Yeah, it was quite an honest way of meeting someone when being naked. You know, there's not a lot you can hide, is there?
It's rather awkward, actually.
You know, what do you say about Jacques? He's Jacques. He's a hedonist. I think I'm envious of the way he lives his life and his energy.
He's just got such a natural musicianship. Everything he does with a kind of real assurance and confidence without any kind of overstepping the mark. My name's Jed Woodhouse. I am the drummer and percussionist with the Real Tuesday Weld.
He is an old friend of mine and Glenn's from the north.
Jed and Stephen have been best friends since they were kids, and Jed's just the most laid back, I mean the most laid back guy I've ever met in my life. And he's just completely content, and I think he's comfortable in his own skin, like nobody I've ever seen.
What am I thinking I'm feeling when I'm playing live? Or what's going on in my head? Well, that's kind of an interesting question, because I'm really not sure what's going on in my head a lot of the time when I'm not involved in the band or doing anything. It's all a bit mysterious to me, to be honest. I've no idea.
marvellous man. He's good fun. Sometimes he reminds us of Beaker from the Muppets. He's got a certain charm.
My name is Don Brosnan. I play bass and do some backing vocals for the Real Tuesday Weld.
We have Don Brosnan from Tucson, Arizona, playing bass guitar.
Describe Donnie as rotund and witty.
We have Don Brosnan. He's a great bass player, and the ladies seem to like him.
Very good hair, actually. He's got good hair.
He's got good hair. He's got, I mean, it's the Don Brosnan hairstyle. It's I never saw anything like it before I met him, and probably never will again. I always think he should be in Reservoir Dogs. He would have looked so perfect, I think.
When I came over for the first rehearsal, I think Stephen had rung me 3 days before and said, learn these 4 songs because we have a radio show the next week. And all I remember is being extremely nervous, talking a lot, and basically at the end of it saying, yeah, I didn't play that well, I'm not very good, but I've got a good haircut, so that'll get me in the band.
And yeah, I wish I could be as funny as him. He's just a really hilariously funny guy sometimes.
And Jimmy Stewart, where was I last night? Well, let's see, last night was quite an interesting situation. I found myself in the pub, which isn't so interesting on its own. And I had a few pints of the Devil's Buttermilk, which you know is Guinness. Yes, Guinness, don't the Irish make that?
Oh, that was crap.
Crap as what?
What happened when you got home with Sean Connery?
With Sean Connery. Yes, last night I went home, cooked some cauliflower and cheese sauce. It's lovely.
That's very similar to your Jimmy Stewart. You know?
Yeah.